Hi guys, Shungdao from Beijing Fitness. In this video, I'd like to share with you guys how I'm training for the upcoming marathon in October. So I come across the book, The Advanced Marathoning, which is one of the best books in the field of marathoning. It was written by the former elite marathoner Pete Pfitzinger. So it provides a very comprehensive guide on marathoning, including what are the successful ingredients in marathoning, how you should design your trainings, what is the optimal nutrition strategy, what is your race day strategies, how to prevent injuries, and other small details such as how you should train in different weather conditions, how to avoid illnesses, etc. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. So this is the first part of the 9-part series on the book summary, The Advanced Marathoning. And the first part is on marathon physiology. We will talk about what are the important attributes to excel in marathoning. The first attribute is having high proportion of slow twitch muscles compared to fast twitch muscles. As you know that the fast twitch muscles is more relevant in explosive exercises because it allows us to use a lot of energy within a very short period of time, but fast twitch muscles have poor endurance property. And on the other hand, while slow twitch muscles have poor explosive property, we are able to use the slow twitch muscles for a much longer period of time, and that's why the slow twitch muscle is more important in endurance activities. But unfortunately, there's nothing much we can do about it since the proportion of fast twitch to slow twitch is mostly genetic. But the author states that with more training, your fast twitch muscles will begin to gain characteristics of slow twitch muscles, such as having improved endurance properties. So the key is to increase your mileage. The second attribute is having a high lactate threshold. So lactate can be found in our blood. The concentration of blood lactate correlates directly with the intensity of exercises. So this means that as intensity of exercises increase, the concentration of our blood lactate also increase. But at the same time, our fatigue also increase. If you look at the graph, there is a point of inflection when our blood lactate increase abruptly over the baseline, and this point of inflection is known as the lactate threshold, and our body begins overheating and we are unable to perform these activities for a prolonged period of time. So how is this relevant in marathon training? Suppose we are able to suppress our blood lactate concentration when we increase the intensity of the exercises. We are able to perform a more intensive exercises for longer period of time. And the lactate threshold typically is around 50 to 60% for sedentary individuals, but with training, elite athletes are able to push that curve to 70 to 80% of our maximal oxygen uptake. So how do we increase our lactate threshold? The secret is to increase the time exposure at or slightly above our lactate threshold. And how do we find this zone? So the most accurate way is to take blood tests at different speed interval, and as you collect enough data point, you are able to find out your lactate threshold curve. In practice, our lactate threshold is usually between 82 to 91% of our maximum heart rate, and this is also known as the comfortably fast pace. And you shouldn't be able to last more than 30 minutes to 1 hour, depending on your level of experience when it comes to lactate threshold training. The third attribute is having good glycogen storage and good fat utilization. Now, what are these things? So the human body primarily relies on 3 energy systems. The first one is the phosphagen system, which is most relevant in explosive activities such as weightlifting. It allows us to use a huge amount of energy within very short period of time. However, the reserve level for phosphagen system is very low, and that's why you see weightlifters need to rest 5 to 10 minutes or even longer before taking their next maximal attempt. The next energy system is the glycolytic system. So compared to the phosphagen system, it is less explosive in nature, but the reserve level is much higher than phosphagen system. So this is more relevant to athletes who are participating in moderately intensive activities such as 5K events. And the last energy system is the least explosive in nature, but it is also the most abundant, and that is our aerobic system. It primarily uses the fat in our body as energy, as fuel. And the aerobic energy system is used in most low intensity activities such as walking, jogging, sleeping, digesting food, etc. But with training, we can increase the energy conversion rate in the aerobic system. And in the case of marathon, both glycolytic system and the aerobic systems are quite important. Now, how do we train these two energy systems? The author recommends us to perform more sessions of runs that are above 90 minutes at an intensity that's slightly slower than your marathon pace, or 75 to 84% of your maximal heart rate. Alternatively, you can also use 66 to 78% of your heart rate reserve as a guide. And personally, I prefer the heart rate reserve because it not only takes into account of your maximal heart rate, it also takes into account of your resting heart rate, so it is more accurate in this sense. And people often ask, so why don't we just train at marathon pace instead? Well, the reason is because our body won't be able to recover as fast if we perform most of the mileages at marathon pace. And as a result, we can't accumulate as much mileage as compared to training most of our mileages at slower pace. Secondly, it is also important to build up the mileage gradually. When it comes to increasing mileage, we shouldn't increase more than 10% mileage on a week-to-week basis. And at the same time, we should also keep our intensity at check. We shouldn't increase mileage and intensity at the same time, as that would increase our injury risk. At the same time, we should also try to train on softer surfaces such as a treadmill or a track at a stadium to reduce the impact force felt by the joints and thereby reducing injury risk. The fourth attribute is to improve our running economy. Running economy refers to how energy efficient your running form is. So a lot of the beginners who have bad running forms such as lateral arm swings or hunchbacks are spending more energy than necessary when they are running. And how do we improve our running economy? Well, other than increasing your mileage, we can also use resistance training, plyometric training, heel training, speed works, and drills that are designed to increase cadence and stride. And we can talk about those in the later chapters on supplementary training. So the last attribute is having a high VO2 max. So VO2 max refers to the maximal oxygen uptake a person can use during exercise. This is typically trained with fast repeats of 800 meters to 1600 meters with 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 work-rest ratios. And these runs are performed at a very high intensity levels, typically above 95% of your maximal heart rate. And according to the author, VO2 max is more relevant to distance runners who are competing in the 5K events. For marathoners, since most of the distance in marathon is run near lactate threshold, VO2 max is less relevant. And also due to the high intensity nature of these VO2 max trainings, this should be done sparingly because it increases fatigue and the likelihood of injury. So that's all on the first part on marathon physiology. If you find my content useful, please like my video. Please follow me if you'd like to get a summary of the rest of the chapters, such as on optimal nutrition strategy, race day strategy, how to design your trainings, what to do and what to avoid, how often you should stretch, how often you should be performing weight trainings. So until next time, which refers to the maximum oxygen uptake your body is able to, which refers to the maximum oxygen uptake, which refers to the maximum 流捨てられた空き缶のようだ互いのすべてを知り尽くすま